Morning, neighbor. Yeah, right. Like I'd be some kind of Mr. Rogers, wouldn't I? Anyway, I know that's how we started the last video off, but I'm on my way to work. I've been trying to play catch up lately with things around the house, so I get a brief amount of time in the morning and a brief amount of time in the evening to put together great content for you guys. So, good morning. You'll never believe what I was able to achieve yesterday. So, I went down the hill, ended up going through Lowe's, kind of did a nice little walk around and see what they had going on there. And you know what? I gotta say, there were a lot of things that I saw Craftsman had come up with that I want to say are very much senior citizen friendly, if you will. But look, we're going to go ahead and we're going to do a quick little walkthrough. I'm going to show you some of the things that I got, and then I'll show you what I was able to achieve by the end of the video. Hey, how's it going, everyone? Justin again. As always, thanks for watching my channel. Welcome back. Off work early, getting ready to head out to an appointment that I have in Lower Desert. Thought we'd swing by Lowe's and see if they've added any new Craftsman to their list. Let's go check it out. All right, so kicking it off, we're checking out some of the impact sockets. You guys know that I had a little bit of difficulty and issue trying to warranty out about anywhere from 3 to about a half a dozen sockets. Granted, they weren't all worn out. There was just a couple that were really, really bad. One in particular, the other one I probably could have dealt with, which was like 21 millimeter. The inside hex started to kind of bevel, but not to the extreme where I couldn't still use it. So I was here looking to see if they had them individually. We did see them in 3/8. I'm still wondering if they had them in 1/2 inch, but we're checking out some of the other stuff they have here. I've never used this style of screwdriver magnetic holder before. I'd be kind of curious to know how well those keep your screwdrivers and other things organized. Little towel rack. These magnetic base plates are super awesome. You might have seen those on the Matco socket organizer tray that I just picked up, what was it, last week or week before last? Somewhere right around the same time frame that we had got in the cart. Lo and behold, they actually did start stocking the 1/2 inch impact sockets individually. So I'm going to be running back to my car here momentarily to grab the worst one that I have, which is 15 millimeter. You can see they did have the 15 millimeter for $7 basically. Now how they had to do this was they had to basically do a return warranty exchange for a damaged product, and they gave it back to me. I did have a basket full of stuff that I was planning on purchasing. I don't know if that helped, or the fact they were doing like item for like item like they had explained to me the last time. Oil filter band style wrenches, those things are super handy to have. In fact, I'm gonna pick one up for the house because I do have a need for one. I took my other ones to work, but not bad for $10. You might be able to find them cheaper elsewhere, but I'm trying to make Craftsman great again, want to bring them back. Test light looked pretty legit. Had the red, believe that's incandescent bulb in there. I don't think it's LED. Some of my test light guys will have to tell me, but I think it's incandescent. They did have some of the Pro Series, looks like, or at least polished chrome ratcheting wrenches. I thought a little bit pricey for what it is that I can get from Gear Wrench, especially during the holiday special. I wasn't too interested. This set looked like a good deal at first at basically $18, but a very incomplete set. So I guess if you're missing that one in particular or a couple of them that you just need to make into some awkward stuff for $18, not overall a bad deal. This switch mechanism for the ratcheting, those are actually pretty handy. Shane, I think, might have that style. So I don't. I have the kind that you have to flip one way or the other depending on how you want to either tighten or loosen something. And I've gotten myself into a pickle a time or two with not getting too close to the edge of something to where I almost couldn't get the ratchet wrench out. These polished wrenches looked a little bit more complete, but again, you pay a higher price for that. This looked a little bit gimmicky, but if you just wanted a couple of different styles of ratchet wrench, they try to save you a few bucks. Here's some of the more big sets. We've covered big sets in the past. I don't think we need to go into it too much. This kind of caught my eye. I'm going to do some more research online. I think you can find a better set, whether it's made by OTC or maybe there's something out there made by Gear Wrench that's better. I think for $160, a little bit on the pricey side, and they were all 1/2 inch. I need some that were 3/8 impact rated as well. Okay, I just saw these in there. I'm going to take the worst one out of the bunch. This one is definitely freaking Dunsky's, okay? 15 millimeter.
The rest of them I can kind of live with. Let's see if they'll actually trade one like item for one like item.
Okay, so I'm going to open the box up actually. Let's take a closer look at what you get for 60 bucks and then we'll move forward here. First I wanted to make sure it wasn't taped down and that we can access it. Here's some of the sizes it covers in both SAE and metric. Then of course you could see what sizes it covers in T-Torx and inverted Torx. Again, one of the major downsides that I saw with this whole entire kit, now granted it looks like a pretty duty kit, impact rated, right? Because how many times have you had bell housing bolts that were E-Torx or torque converter bolts that were Torx drive that you wanted to use an impact on? Find something impact rated. I thought it was a great idea. However, I think for like T40, maybe going up to like T50 or 55, they really could have gone 3/8 drive instead of making it 1/2 inch all the way across the board. And that goes for some of the smaller Allens too, talking about like 10mm Allen. A little bit too big for the Allen size that you're using. I think I would have liked to have seen a 1/2 and 1/2 set, if that makes sense. Half of the smaller size sockets being 3/8 drive and then half of the bigger size sockets being 1/2 inch drive. I've got some chrome stuff that's not necessarily impact rated. It served me pretty well for 10 years. I'll show you what chromes look like after they've been used and abused though with an impact. Let's take a look at some of the screwdrivers. I like the handle style on this, to be honest. I think it offers a really nice grip. I like the round handle feature. I'm not sure how well the tips would hold up. Two different sets there. Also was looking at some of their tin snips or their cutting shears. They have the right angle, left angle straights. They also had the high pitched angle ones. Those are actually looking pretty nice. I thought it was kind of unique that they threw some oddball colors on the other end of the handle. I mean, don't know that you need to have it color coordinated, but it is what it is. I also saw some of these precision screwdrivers and picks that also looked pretty nice. Haven't tried those out yet, but be curious. I think that this set is actually a better deal than this bigger set you get for 35 bucks. In fact, you can buy this set and the precisions for cheaper than you could the other set, and you get more out of it. Looking at their individual screwdrivers, so I think for anywhere from 5 to 10 bucks, you can't go wrong if you just needed to replace one. So I grabbed a super long one, and we're going to be checking that out, and I'll be taking that to work. Last but not least, I thought their pick sets looked pretty nice, especially for my senior citizens out there with arthritic hands. Bigger handles means better grip. Alright, and then last but not least, I saw this VersaPro stack tray organizer. I think it's great for small stuff, butt connectors, etc. Alright, let's kick it off with their pick set first to start. I picked this 4-piece pick set up from Lowe's, the Craftsman set. The picks themselves looked actually relatively duty for the most part. They also offered a different bit of an angle than some of the other picks that I've been used to. Let me share with you. So for instance, this is one made by Channel Lock, and it's kind of got a weird little twist, but a curve to it. There's some other ones that curve a little bit differently. This is a plastic hard handle grip, but some of the Snap-on and Matco ones have a smaller handle as well. But look, especially where those of us that have fairly big hands and you got to wrap your arthritic fingers around that thing, it's just not always practical. And if you're really picking at something or you're sitting there kind of doing stuff, you know, over time, kind of a chore. But also, the length style is also a little bit different. So not the world's longest pick in the entire world, but if you needed to get a little bit more reach out of it, you definitely get that with the Craftsman set. Sorry if you guys can't see that. Okay? And the handles themselves are like twice the size. So I'm going to open these up later, give them a full little check out and review. Not sure which ones I think I prefer taking to work at the moment. I'd love to take the Craftsman ones to work, to be honest, and really kind of give them an overall use, abuse, and everything else. But because I really want to keep a nice set here at the house as well, I'm trying to determine which one would be more beneficial to have here. So I'll make the determination later and then go from there. But yeah, for my arthritic boys on the hood, that'd be something for you to consider, would be getting a nice Craftsman pick set. Bigger handle, easier to grip and hold on to. Something else that I picked up over there, and again, I'm loving this style of handle, is this long number 2 Phillips screwdriver. I think picked this up for like $8 or $9 from there. But here's the handle. It's almost identical as far as the shaping and the texture is concerned to the pick set that we just picked up. But the handle, obviously, because it's a screwdriver and not a pick set, being about twice the size. But overall, I think that for the grip, I actually really like the grip, especially in comparison to, say, like I've got some Matco screwdrivers somewhere here that have like a triangle kind of grip. They're okay, but my hand really never really fully conformed to them. The previous Torque 2 model that I had more of a rounded handle, and those ones I actually like. Those ones I actually have at work. The red ones with the more triangle shaped handle, it took a little getting used to, but I use them for weekend warrior purposes. But anyways, coming back to the Craftsman screwdriver, definitely love the grip. I'd be curious to know how well the tips hold up over time. So I'll be taking this one to work because I had a need the other day for a longer Phillips. Didn't have a super long Phillips, just a super long flathead. Something else that I picked up here for the house specifically is for my GMC Sierra. Now I have one that's made by Lyle, and it's that super grip band style oil filter wrench. But I had to take it to work because the one that we had there broke, and I was like, well, I got a better one. Okay, this one was an old school one that they had there. Anyways, it broke down and it wouldn't work anymore. I think the handle started to twist up and got no action out of it. So I took mine to work, been using it there ever since. Took the oversized one too, just in case I needed it for the Cummins diesel filters. But at any rate, I picked up this oil filter, band style, Craftsman oil filter wrench. So I bought this specifically for at the house so I can do my own oil changes still, be it on the GMC or the Mercury Mariner or the VW. I have one here. It's always nice to have at least one here at the house. So I got that. Next little thing up, so I had these precision screwdrivers that I picked up from Matco for a while, and though the tip on them is pretty fine, they're not as fine as some of the more smaller screws you might find like for someone's eyeglasses, or maybe the back of a film lens or camera lens. So for instance, the other day we were trying to fix my manager's Canon camera lens, and he didn't have a fine enough Phillips in the ones that I had from the Matco, though the handles were really nice and fairly big in size, right? The tips were just not fine enough to get in there. So I found this little 5-piece precision screwdriver set there, and actually I thought it was a pretty nice deal as far as how many you got for the price they were asking. I'd have to, you guys probably already saw the little video clip. So for what they cost, they're actually pretty nice to have. So I'm not exactly sure if I'm taking these to work or leaving them here at the house. I'm kind of 50-50 on it because I know the wife has glasses and I know that she could probably use some better precision screwdrivers. So I don't know. We'll see what happens with them. Alright, another little item. I don't know, this might be kind of a gag thing really. Now I have all my screwdrivers set up at work in the foam pad that I picked up from Matco Tools, and I never really was a huge fan of the idea of having my screwdrivers raised up high sitting on some kind of magnetic surface. But I did see this magnetic rail, which could give you the option to either have it magnetized down to something or maybe magnetized or hooked up to the side, the top of your box lid or something like that. But if it was in the drawer, maybe have it sitting like this where you have Phillips facing one way, flatheads facing the other, maybe you got your pick set in there. I don't know, since I was needing some way of being able to organize the last item I picked up, well, second to last item that I picked up, which is this, what is it, 8-piece Craftsman screwdriver set. Comes with the 2 stubbies. You got your number 2 Phillips. You got your number 1 flathead, number 2 flathead, number 1 Phillips, number 3 Phillips, number 3 flathead. That's what I call them. You might go by the actual sizes, which are all here on the back. 75 millimeter, 35 millimeter, 100 millimeter, 150 millimeter, 100 millimeter, 35, 100, 150. So if you're a millimeter guy, you might go by that. But at any rate, nice 8-piece set. Like I said, love the handle. This is going to be the set that I'm going to keep here at the house, and the screwdrivers that I have at work will remain at work. The last item that I picked up, and again this is kind of 50-50, but I'm half tempted to take it to work because my junk drawer is kind of getting a little bit cluttered with junk, though I am also running out of room on the top of my toolbox. was I ended up picking up, and I have a lot of oddball crap here at the house too. That's why I'm so 50-50 on this. I might actually keep it here at the house, play with it, see how I feel about it here at the house on top of the toolbox. But I picked up one of these Craftsman VersaStack organization drawer trays. 2 drawers, plenty of room to organize, put things how you want them, nuts, bolts, little tiny butt connectors, oil drain plugs, fasteners, gaskets, you name it. It comes in handy for that kind of stuff. And if you did buy their towering display, you can actually get this dolly that's a 3-tier dolly system. I didn't need the whole dolly system, I just wanted a tray for the top of the box, so I picked that up. Okay, last but not least, big surprise here. Had a friend on YouTube there tell me that most recently that his Lowe's started carrying individual impact sockets. I think it's been about a month, maybe a little bit more than a month, since the last time I went to Lowe's to try to attempt to warranty out. I think I only really wanted to warranty out, I only needed to warranty out like 3, maybe 4 sockets that were a bit worn out. But anyway, he said that his Lowe's started to carry them again. I might revisit that and go see if my Lowe's has started to carry individual impact sockets, because the last time I went, they did not. They only had the chromes and the wrenches. And like item for like item is what the Lowe's guy did say specifically, but they did not have it, and he didn't want to break up a set, and I would have had to mail them in, etc., or try my luck at Sears. You guys know how it went. Sears basically told me no go. They didn't have individual, nothing like that, and I would have had to mail them in. I decided to take his thought into consideration. I went down to Lowe's when I did this pickup today. I grabbed all my stuff that I wanted, and I only took the worst of the worst, the one that I had absolutely had no use for anymore because it was completely rounded out. The rest of them I still use. They're still usable. They're not that beat up to the point where it screws things up. It's just this one in particular, which happened to be a 15mm impact, and as you can see, they did warranty that out for me. A little bit of a headache at first. They wanted to verify that it was like item for like item, and they basically had to do a return slash damage tool, and then I was able to get the one that I needed, so I got that replaced. In fact, all the Craftsman sockets are now inside this little tiny box from my previous set, for the exception of 16mm, because we just added the Techiton set to our independent shop tool inventory. So we're going to be using those a lot there at the independent shop and see how well they hold up. Big shout out to Chris, thank you very much. Last but certainly not least, I want to give a big shout out to the Weaver brothers, because they commented on one of my videos, had asked if I had any kind of a shipping address because they wanted to help out. They wanted to send the Neridium Platinum spark plugs to me to install into my grandfather's Lincoln Aviator to do a tune-up, because he hasn't done a tune-up since he's had it, and he's sitting at a pretty high mileage. I thought that was really nice of them to want to do that, so I shot him the P.O. box, and lo and behold, they sent me 8 Platinum Neridium Motorcraft spark plugs. So now we can do Grandpa's tune-up on his Lincoln Aviator. I've already text messaged him. Hopefully he can come up this weekend. And for those of you that are curious on how to do a tune-up or how to replace the spark plugs on a 2004 Lincoln Aviator, we will be covering that hopefully this weekend if he can come up. So I'm hoping he has time off to do that so I can show you guys in a video post. That's pretty much all that I got for this video, guys. I want to give again another shout out to Chris, aka Client Graphics, and I'll put his link down below. The Weaver brothers for hooking it up with the Motorcraft spark plugs. I want to thank the management team and the assistant that was behind the front counter who hooked it up with that replacement Craftsman socket. And let's make Craftsman great again. I'm pumped to try out some of these new Craftsman tools, and I'm getting excited about it. So we'll just see how things go. That being said, I'd say cheers to those of you that have your chocolate raspberry coffee. And I hope you enjoy the rest of your work day. We'll see what the rest of this weekend has in store for us. Thanks for watching. If you guys liked the video, hit the thumbs up. Didn't like it, hit the thumbs down. Share if you want to share. Until next time, deuces.